Hi, everyone, and welcome to this reading. Let's get right into it. All right. So, this reading is not a fairy tale love reading. This is not Cupid and roses. This is emotional maturity. This is legacy. This is stability. And what I love about this spread is that it doesn't deny the emotional depth. Um, there's a lot of cups energy, but it grounds it in pentacles. So, this is like emotion meeting structure. You can feel deeply and build something stable. um, Feelings alone and intensity are not enough to create stability. So uh, yeah, this is emotional sovereignty and stable foundations. I feel like this ties back to the last couple of readings. It's pretty interesting to see the continuity between the readings. So if you're interested in how this might relate to some of the previous readings, there's a playlist on the channel of daily tarot readings. You can go back through and look at some of the ones from previous days and see kind of like the longer arc of this narrative, right? So let's get into it, right? So the first card in the Celtic Cross is the Ten of Pentacles. So this is the present situation, and this is the core of the spread, right? So 10 of Pentacles. You don't get more Pentacles than this. This is total fulfillment, right? This is family systems, legacy, infrastructure. This is stuff that actually lasts, right? These people, these are not rich people. These are wealthy people. This is opulence. This is like generational stability and something that will last, right? So this isn't about chemistry or attraction. This is like, what can we build over time? So for the collective, this is a question of like, what kind of life are you actually building, and is your emotional life aligned with your long-term security, and are you choosing intensity or are you choosing sustainability? And this card being the center, it tells me that this is future facing and that we're choosing stability, or that the collective is choosing stability. So card two, the crossing card, is the Eight of Pentacles. This is our immediate challenge, right? And the blocker challenge is effort, right? This person is working very diligently. This is, an artisan crafting these pentacles, and all this work is done, right? But he's still got more work to do, and he's very focused on the work that he's doing, right? And so this is the immediate challenge is getting to the Ten of Pentacles. And you don't get to the Ten of Pentacles without the Eight of Pentacles, right? You don't get to the Ten of Pentacles without work. This is practice. This is repetition. This is skill building in love, in career, in healing. This is about showing up consistently. So I love that this starts with the center being Pentacles, because this is grounding for all of the emotional energy that's about to show up. And so now it comes to the third card, which is the Page of Swords. And we notice something interesting, right? This page, the root cause, is the Page of Swords. So swords are mental, right? And pages are learners. They're curious. They're beginning again. They have like a learner energy, almost even like a child or beginner energy, right? And so the root of this situation is that we have a new mindset, right? We're thinking differently, we're observing differently, we're catching our own narratives. So this isn't reckless, this is thoughtful awareness. And what do pages become? They become knights, right? So there's beginner energy here, but there's also momentum building. And as we continue through the cards, you're going to see that. So card four, we have the Six of Cups. So this is the recent past. And this is where, we're seeing the cups start to show up and the emotions, right? And this is emotional sweetness. This is nostalgia. This is soulful connections, memories, and innocence. And there's real love here and real emotional depth, but it's also in the past position. It doesn't invalidate it, it honors it as a chapter. And this is kind of the beginning of what's going to be a lot of cups in this energy in this reading that's building. And emotion is not absent; it's just being integrated differently. So when we get farther into the reading, I almost see this as maybe this could be a past chapter in a relationship that is being redefined too. Doesn't necessarily mean that things are over. It just means that that chapter is over, and it is a beautiful chapter, right? So moving on, we have card 5, the message from above. This is the Page of Cups. So this is the second page, and it's more cups. And so the guidance here is basically to stay emotionally open but emotionally aware, right? Again, we have the page, so it's got kind of the learner energy. The Page of Cups is tender, is creative, is soft, right? This page is very in touch with his emotions, very calm and comfortable. And in this position, in this reading for me, what this is saying is to not let disappointment turn into cynicism, right? To stay open, but not abandon discernment. And card 6, we have the 4 of Cups in the immediate future. And this is more introspective. This also ties back to the last reading. This card was in the same position in the last reading that I did. And I shuffled a lot, I promise. So this is reevaluation. This is pause. This is emotional contemplation, right? 4s are typically pause, and then cups, so emotions again. And what this looks like to me is you may have offers, you may have options, you may have someone reaching out, but you're not automatically grabbing the cup anymore, right? This is maturity. This is, I need to feel into whether this aligns with my long-term security and stability. So 10 of Pentacles to 4 of Cups is, I'm not going to get emotionally involved unless I know it's aligned with the stability of my future. And so card 7, we have the inner state, right? And this is the rest card. This is another 4, right? So pause again. And this is mental recalibration, right? Because swords, again, are mental energy. So this isn't shutdown. It's not depression. This is integration. When you stop chasing chaos, your nervous system recalibrates. And that's what this is. This is a sacred reset. And as we keep going around, card 8, the Hermit, others' thoughts and feelings. And so this card is layered. On one level, somebody else might be doing their own inner work, right? This might be a partner from this relationship. It might be somebody else in our life, doing their processing, doing their inner work alone, observing. But this position for me has been very dual, very two-way lately, right? So this could also be other people seeing you as withdrawn and less boundaried and less available. Why hasn't he reached out? He's different lately. He's quieter. And we look at the symbolism, again, we have all these cups on the ground, right? And so this is like emotional turmoil and patterns and clutter that the Hermit has walked away from. So this can be like emotional battles that we've left behind. So it's not isolation, right? It's not, the Hermit isn't alone because they've been exiled. The Hermit is alone because they've chosen to be alone. They have chosen solitude for their own introspection, right? And so, this could be somebody else doing their own work. This could be us doing our work and other people perceiving that. It could go a couple of different ways. And so as we continue around again, card 9, we have the Page of Pentacles. So this is the third page. So we have the Page of Swords, we have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. And the only page that's missing is the Page of Wands, which is fire, right? But we still have a very full spectrum page energy here and beginner's mindset, right? So mental is the swords, emotional is the cups, and practical is the pentacles. So this all combined with the learning energy, we are relearning how to live. And the page of pentacles specifically says we want something tangible, right? Because pentacles are earth, so this is something that we can reach out and grab, you know. This is not about fantasy or feelings. This is about the building, right? The page is learning how to build this stability. And yeah, again, we have the beginner's mindset, because starting over requires humility. And the page is just starting out on their journey of becoming the knight, right? And again, with the 3 pages, there's so many pages here. We're only missing the one. I feel like that page of wands is kind of implied. And what do pages become? They become knights. So this is almost like a knight kind of energy of learning to move with that kind of skill and purpose. And again, the 3 areas, right, is emotions and our mental and physical and practical needs, right? So this is a lot, and it really fits in with everything. And another thing about pages is that they're enthusiastic. They can't wait to become a knight. So this in the hopes and fears position, I think also indicates some enthusiasm. Um, the 5 of wands underneath is the overall theme of the reading, and for me, what this represents is like friction and conflict, right? This is kind of what we went through to get to this mental clarity and this place of sacred rest. And from if we keep going from the page of pentacles to the 10 card, the potential outcome, we have the Queen of Cups, right? And so now we mature and we move from this page energy to the queen energy, right? Maybe the implied knight all the way up to queen. And this is about emotional sovereignty, right? The Queen of Cups feels deeply, but she doesn't drown. She doesn't chase. She doesn't perform. She doesn't manipulate outcomes. Just like the King of Cups, she has mastered her mind, but she has also mastered her emotions. And she is grounded, she is regulated, she's connected to her intuition without losing discernment. And this is the arc of mastery, right? This is moving from beginner to sovereign in command. And if we touch again on the bottom of the deck here, the 5 of wands, right? This is conflict, but this is also minor arcana. This is not catastrophic upheaval. It's internal friction, right? This is our old patterns versus our new stability, right? This is fantasy versus structure, or this is intensity versus sustainability, right? But this is manageable. This is manageable because this is the kind of friction that develops things, right? It forges something stronger. This isn't the kind of aggression that destroys things. It's the kind of conflict that refines. So the big theme I'm seeing in this reading is that this spread is about emotional depth meeting earthly stability, right? So again, we have all this heavy cups energy, and to me, that's saying for the collective that you're not numb, you're not disconnected, you feel deeply, right? And I mean, that's very true for me in my own personal experience. And those deep feelings are also grounded, right? That's represented by the pentacles here. So we're learning that love without structure collapses. And the triple page energy says that we're in a new chapter. It's a learner's chapter. It's an investment chapter. And the outcome says that we're successful in this chapter, right? We don't stay a page forever because we become the Queen of Cups. So we're successful in this endeavor, and we become emotionally sovereign, open, stable, disciplined, self-aware, right? All of the very regal qualities embodied by the Queen of Cups. So I hope this reading is helpful for you, and keep in mind these cards are going to show up differently in each of our lives, and just use your discernment, right? If you find any of this taking you by surprise, or you have to stretch it to fit, then it's probably not your reading. And whether this reading is for you or not, this reading isn't about finding someone to complete you. This reading is about becoming someone who is emotionally complete, so that anything you build from here is stable. And I think that's really important. I think that falling into the trap of needing someone else to complete us, it can preclude us from doing the internal work to be complete within ourselves. And being complete within ourselves is the path to self-love, to self-sovereignty, and stability. If you are comfortable within yourself and you love yourself, you don't need anyone to complete you. And I think that that's a much healthier outlook, whether this resonated with you or not. So I hope that this is helpful for you, and thank you for watching this reading, and I'll have another one for you soon.